Sea of Thieves is currently in a really bright place. The recent updates have been amazing, and overall it's projected to be another really fruitful year for the game. But something that's been coming up a lot in conversations I'm having is how many more of this and that can they add, before it starts to get just, oh cool, as opposed to, wow, that's absolutely amazing. Currently the game is on a good trajectory, but that's the thing, it's a good trajectory. It'll survive the year quite easily. However, the Xbox Game Showcase has recently been announced, slated for June 12th, and Season 7 is due to drop just 3 days after that. So it begs the question, what is Sea of Thieves' next big thing? What's the next super secret project? You may have noticed each year they've had quite a headliner update. Year 1 was launched, so there was none. Year 2 was the anniversary update, Year 3 was Ships of Fortune, and Year 4 was A Pirate's Life. But what's Year 5's going to be? It always seems to fall around the June mark, which is convenient, as the Xbox Game Showcase / E3 is usually held in this month, albeit E3 was cancelled this year, but the Xbox Game Showcase is still slated for June 12th, still going ahead. Exactly a year after Sea of Thieves A Pirate's Life was announced. So as we begin to approach the date with just over a month left, it's left some questions of what could possibly be announced there. If we look at the dates of Tall Tales, we've generally gotten one per year since they were introduced. Anniversary update, April 31st, introducing Sea of Thieves Shores of Gold. The same year was Seabound Soul, which released on November 20th. Year 3 introduced Heart of Fire, which was released in March 2020. And of course, A Pirate's Life was released on June 21st. So it's highly possible that we could be getting more Tall Tales. I honestly can't say for certain whether these would be A Pirate's Life 2 / Jack Sparrow returning, as whilst he did say he'll one day return, we just don't know. We're really in the dark. Would I personally want him to return? Heck yeah. Whether he will or not is a completely different question. The time, money, effort, development and overall organisation to produce A Pirate's Life was insane. And with an active development time of a year and a half with a content drought for A Pirate's Life, I'm not sure if they'd be able to pull it off this time with the amount of phenomenal content they've been releasing in seasons and adventures. I'm not ruling it out, I'm just saying I personally think it's relatively unlikely. That being said, the developers have always wowed and surprised us. Who knows what they'll be able to pull out the bag. Each year gets better and better. I find it super ironic how a new building is being built on outposts, the same thing that happened in the build up to A Pirate's Life. Alright, so the next thing to talk about is captaincy. I'll link my video on the leak / information we have on it up in the top right in the pinned comment below, but generally speaking, captaincy is quite a possible feature that could be coming. Because it's been so heavily requested, it really would be a big wow. But then you could argue, how would they deliver it? There's nothing quite like a cinematic trailer to hype you up for an update, like with A Pirate's Life, but with no real story content, how could they deliver on this? We can speculate for hours on to what extent captaincy would be as well. Is it just naming ships? How deep does it go? Can we fully customize the interior of our ships? Can we exile crew members of our crew? What perks do we get? We just don't know. Overall, captaincy seems to be quite a possible feature to come, but there's not too much of a point speculating on it when we can't even really think what it might involve. We can be really imaginative, but at the end of the day, we have nothing concrete on really what the devs are willing to do, how far they're willing to go, because the rabbit hole for captaincy is endless. Once you start going down it, the ideas just keep on flowing. Another thing that could be coming is a new region. I mean, an actual new region. Not down, not to the Sea of the Damned, an actual new region. Whilst I joked around in one of my April Fool's videos this year, it's my personal opinion, and I feel very strongly about it, that we need a new region. I don't care whether it's the Frozen Horizons, Sea of the Five Winds, the crocodile feature hinted at in the Golden Nile weapons, an ancient region, heck, the ability to get outside of the Sea of Thieves to a massive port town. It really doesn't matter. They can add any content they want, but it's still the same world, same four walls. To quote Pirates of the Caribbean, the map is becoming filled in. I would absolutely rather this over anything, Tall Tales, Captaincy, whatever. Not one new island like the Shores of Gold, a proper world expansion. And before you start yelling at me in the comments about how technically challenging this is, yes, I'm more than aware. I've done several videos going in depth about that kind of thing. Still though, it would be amazing if they could pull it off. A slightly far-fetched idea is, well, Sea of Thieves 2. Perhaps I'll save my full thoughts on this for another video, but to follow up my previous idea, I'm 100% all in for a sequel, in a way. Even if they have to take a year, maybe even 2 out of the main game to make it, think about the launch of it. A massive campaign, multiple new massive regions, a mainland, new ship types, the list is endless. Whilst I'm 99.99% sure they won't announce anything of the sort of the Xbox Game Showcase, and to be honest, it would be a bit overwhelming if they did, and surprising, it's still an interesting thought. Speaking of new ships though, a new ship in an update is entirely possible. Again, don't yell at me in the comments about this for technical reasons and why it's challenging, etc. I know, I'm simply just speculating. But something that I'd really love to see is variants of ships. So when you go to select a galleon, for example, there are multiple different types of galleons, which will all function differently, having different perks/downsides to them. Hypothetically, even if it was only for looks, that would still be pretty amazing, just to have some differentiation throughout the seas. The final thing I want to bring some attention to though is the whole pirate hideout / sailing out of the waterfall in the PL area deal. If you don't know, when of developing the original version of the game, the idea was, although never implemented but not thrown out of the window for the future, to have when you reach Pirate Legend, you spawn down in the Pirate Legend hideout where your boat is, and you'd sail it out of the waterfall. This idea everyone loves, and I think another Pirate Legend update is very probable. It will really get under my teeth if the developers say, right, you've had your PL update in Season 6, we don't care anymore. As whilst it was cool, it didn't change anything. Despite the fact it's just a voyage, what the community is really looking for is perks. Perks and cool things that make you a Pirate Legend, what it means to be one. Like sailing out of the waterfall, literally. Something to note is that although old, we still haven't been given the content surrounding Pirate Legends having a reason to go back to the Shores of Gold soon. As Mike Chapman said back in 2019/2020, so Pirate Legend content is entirely feasible. Again, we'll have to wait and see. We could go on and on about these ideas forever. There are so many possible things. These are just a few of my personal highlights of ideas. And something I want to quickly address is the people that are insiders. The people that might start saying, laughs and insiders. I don't care what content you might see come into it, I don't care what you might think could be coming, what you think you might know could be coming. A pirate's life proved to us that they can and will keep things secret if they want. If they decide to pull, for example, A Pirate's Life 2, then it's my firm belief that they'd put content for later seasons as a decoy. They'd put that into insiders to keep people off the scent. Projects like A Pirate's Life, they just won't share because they're too top secret. They're too amazing for them to even take the chance, however small, however big, of it being leaked. We all saw the reaction of A Pirate's Life, and it was definitely worth not being told, being kept in the dark, and just thinking, eventually, hang on, is the game really dying? I think that the Xbox Game Showcase is going to bring something absolutely phenomenal. I genuinely cannot wait. They always pull something massive off. Whatever the big update for this year is, I'm sure it's going to be phenomenal. Rare know what they're doing. Sea of Thieves have proved to us that this game really is going far. But anyway, that being said, that does take us to the end of this video. If you did enjoy, please consider leaving a like and let me know what you think of all this down in the comments below, as I'm really interested. And subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest Sea of Thieves news as and when it comes out, because you can bet no matter what's released at the Xbox Game Showcase, I'll be making a video on it. But anyway, that does bring us to the end of the video, as I say. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.